I've been wanting to make a sort of UCN 5020 explanation video for years, but with the existence of DJ Sturf's tutorial and now Bones's as well, I've decided that the niche I can fill is to explain it without taking hours. Maybe not ideal for beating it yourself, but perfect for anybody who wants to watch a 5020 win themselves and understand it without needing to invest a ton of time. This is the simplest 5020 strategy, the one that I use and runs like Dawko's win uses. Everything else, such as no death coin, is self-imposed additional challenge and not relevant to just winning. Also for knowers, this assumes you're going for a 10-second XOR win. 5020 and UCN as a whole revolves around resetting the ventilation. Past around 30 seconds, it's the only reason to enter cams and presents the greatest threat for the majority of the night. That's because all of these characters can only kill you when you open cams. When they're ready to kill you if you open cams, but can't until you do, that's called office stalling. If you never needed to open cams to reset ventilation every 45 seconds, all of these characters would basically not exist. Also, the ventilation goes out quicker, in about 30 seconds if the office is hot, so on top of Jacko Chica, that's the main reason to turn the fan on and keep the office cool. You don't die at 120 degrees like in Pizza Sim. Only one character beats office stalling. One character needs to be dealt with in the cams and can kill you without you opening cams. Funtime Foxy. Normally you deal with him by just being on his cam when the hour switches to what's displayed on the sign. I think 2 to 4 times in a night. For reasons I'll explain later, that's not an option, and if you miss that showtime, Funtime Foxy doesn't wait for you to open cams. You die instantly. There's a handful of hard characters I'd love to be able to use the death coin on, but being able to knock out Funtime Foxy gives the greatest benefit to the run. Now, the hardest part of 5020 is buying that death coin for Funtime Foxy. If you start a 4920 run without Funtime Foxy, your first few seconds look like this. All this nonsense you're seeing is an effort to collect 10 coins to buy a death coin, ideally before 15 seconds, but up to 25 is fine. Opening cams can spawn Helpy, who gives you a coin, the Balloon Kids, who give you a coin, and on 5-second intervals, these guys can show up, who give you a coin. Hence all the cam flipping, and dealing with Nightmare BB plus Golden Freddy just comes with the cam flips. At and every 13 seconds, you can't be in cams or Rockstar Bonnie shows up, which is kind of a dead run because finding his guitar in the cams is too annoying. At 15 seconds, Puppet's music box will run out, so you need to turn on the global music box, which will then need to be kept on for 16 seconds, then off for 14 seconds on a cycle for the rest of the night, dealing with Puppet, Chica, Lefty, and kind of Music Man. After 15 seconds, all of the no big deal but annoying characters start showing up, which is why 10 coins before 15 seconds is ideal, but not mandatory. At exactly 26.1 seconds, it's cams go time. 26.1 because death coining will take a few seconds, and you need to avoid that second 13-second Rockstar Bonnie interval. And ideally no later than that because the cams start getting dangerous with Toy Freddy dying, the ducts approaching, the vents approaching, all things that can only but will kill you in cams. So at 26.1 seconds, you open cams, get rid of the phantoms, buy the death coin, and death coin Funtime Foxy. I'll talk about him in a minute, but you can also refresh ventilation while you're here to buy some time. Then it's Office Stall City for the rest of the night. Chilling and refreshing ventilation every 45 seconds, so another 5 times, trying not to die until you win. I'm not going to cover the riff-raff characters. It's a Fnaf game, there's gonna be riff-raff. The rest of the video will cover dealing with the remaining danger dudes and XOR. XOR first. It's Didi, who randomly adds a character sometimes, but he's black and white and always shows up in 5020. He either shows up at 10 seconds or fails to, and will try again every 10 seconds. Personally, I just reset when he doesn't show up at 10 seconds, because sure, 20-second XOR is doable, maybe 30, but I'd rather reset after 10 than hope that he shows up at 20, which is already less ideal. XOR spawns in all 6 of these secret UCN characters in order. So yeah, every 5020 completion is 5620, or maybe 5520 after death coining Fox. Or any completion score will tell you it was actually 5320, so whatever. 5 of these 6 characters are riff-raff. Only Plush Trap makes you actually do something. Min arenas are really annoying, but ultimately fine. When spawned in, Plush Trap sits on a chair in Funtime Foxy's camera, and looking at him for 2 seconds will make him dip, and that's all. Doesn't sound bad, but if XOR spawns later than 10 seconds, being in the cameras for a full 2 seconds is likely death. With 10-second XOR, Plush Trap lines up perfectly with death coining Funtime Foxy. That's why I hover over that cam a moment longer before changing to camera 2 and closing them for the rest of the night. Last section. We know what office stalling is, but camera stalling is also used in 5020. Staying on one camera prevents characters on that camera from killing you. By switching to camera 2 after Plush Trap and never leaving it, the 3 plush animatronics and Rockstar Chica can't kill you on resetting ventilation flips. Then the wet floor sign is moved to the left side because Rockstar Chica can go there too. However, changing cams once a plush animatronic is at the door is instant death, and that's why dealing with Funtime Foxy normally in this strategy is off the table. Toy Freddy sucks at his little minigame. Once he loses extremely quickly, he'll have a chance to kill you on every 0.5 second interval you spend in cams. You can keep him alive for the death coin portion of the night, but he'll lose very soon after you cam 2 stall and only flip for vent resets. The best players can vent reset between 0.5 second intervals, but it's a tight window, so Toy Freddy runs the risk of killing you during one of your cam flips. Foxy is the hardest post-death coin part of 5020. He shares a cam with Bonnie, and who's in that cam will be displayed by the little figure on your desk. You want this to be Bonnie, because when it's Foxy, his aggression will slowly go up, and on cam flips, he'll update by slowly entering your office. Whether or not he kills you is luck-based, but obviously keeping his aggression lower means a higher chance of surviving. Bonnie and Foxy switch places on cam flips, of course, which means you'll have Bonnie until you need to reset ventilation, then Foxy will show up. And so a few seconds after the vent reset, I do a 0-frame flip, which is immune to things like Toy Freddy deaths, but gives Bonnie a chance to come back on the desk. He does it always. I hate Foxy. Keep him off the table and pray. Checking on Foxy during the death coin phase can also slow his aggression and help you live longer. Nightmare Own is always in the office, and you gotta keep your mouse off of it. Not hard once you learn the spots that are always safe. Lastly, the duct animatronics are a risk on cam flips, because if one is at the duct entrance when you flip, you'll die. This can be solved by running the heater briefly before a cam flip, but that takes power and messes with the global music box cycle, so it can be hard to incorporate. You're trading power for higher survival odds. Last thing, every time you vent reset cam flip, you need to close both left door and top vent to stay safe from everyone who's otherwise office stalled. And that's it, besides all the little things that give 5020 its classic chaotic look. A 30-second grind for money to remove Funtime Foxy, then 5 dangerous camera flips to reset ventilation, all while trying to prevent the slow Foxy creep. And random garbage is in your face constantly.